This episode of Grey Areas is brought to you by Genora, beautiful skincare and delicious supplements. From their famous hot chocolate-flavoured sleep powder to marine collagen for hair, skin and nails to perimenopause support. Designed by women who needed it first. Made right here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. You get 15% off your first order with the code Grey Areas at genora.co.nz. Offer ends June 30, so get in quick.
I don't even want to say the things that my brain says to me out loud.
Would you say a few of them?
Oh, you're too fat, you're too old, you're too fat, you're too old, and your chin's too saggy and you're never going to work again. Oh, it's so yuck.
Mine are, you are useless. When will you ever learn?
I, for whatever reason, think that my value in the world is tethered tightly to how I look. And so as the way I look changes and goes against a social opinion about youth, it's like somebody's taking money out of my bank account and there's nothing I can do about it. My value is going down, perceived value going down. But then I guess what takes its place is your true character.
No mai haere mai to Grey Areas with me, Petra Bagust. You're in for a treat as I sit with smart and sparkly Morgana O'Reilly, star of theatre, TV and film. She's been on Neighbours, Mean Mums, The White Lotus and more. Morgana has written and performed 2 one-woman plays, one of which has become the incredible film Stories About My Body. Coming to cinemas this winter, 2026. Here's Morgana. Morgana O'Reilly, thank you for joining me on Grey Areas today. I am deeply appreciative of your response, your heartfelt and enthusiastic response to my just random, we've never met before, I don't know you. I mean, I get a sense that we could have a firecracker of a conversation.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I quite feel like people listening ought to just buckle up because you never know where we're going to go.
Yeah.
And I ran across you in a newspaper article. Mm-hmm. And I've intersected you with Billy T. James' show and Mean Mums. You've been there on screens, like you know, coming into focus and out of focus.
Yeah.
And then I got sent the information about your film, Stories About My Body, and I'm like, holy heck, yes, because as women, each of us have a bloody beautiful body, and we spend, I would suggest, a lot of our time loathing it, disliking it, rejecting it, working on it, like wrestling with it, hating it.
Yeah.
And I'd love us not to do that.
I know.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
Imagine if we were all like, oh, yummy. Look at my beautiful body that I get to move around the world in today and I get to talk to you. I mean, without this body, I couldn't even be here with you.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where to start. But can we start with perhaps your name, Morgana? It's very unusual.
Yeah. It's from the King Arthur stories. King Arthur's half-sister, Morgan Le Fay, a.k.a. Morgana Le Fay, a.k.a. Morgane Le Fay, was, depending on who's telling the story, either a witch or a fairy, probably just a wise woman.
Yeah.
But magic. And my parents got Morgan out of the phone book. And I think they, as the story goes, I think they went to my great aunt. My mum told her that that's what they were thinking of calling me, and she said, Morgan, like Morgan Le Fay from the King Arthur stories. So they gave me the second name Le Fay.
Yeah, Morgana Le Fay.
Yeah.
Naomi Jane.
Naomi is my grandmother's name on my mum's side.
They were not afraid. And Jane?
And then Jane, my mother's name is Mary Jane, so I guess that's a whakapapa to her. And then O'Reilly, my dad's last name. We did that thing where we got married and I didn't take his last name.
Yeah.
We toyed for a little while with the idea of like making up a last name, like Mr. and Ms. Storyteller, except we couldn't think of any good ones with this and nav.
Okay.
Yeah. And because we made it up. We got married very quickly.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long what do you mean by quickly?
He won a green card, so we married him. Which was lovely, great idea. We loved each other. I loved him very much. We weren't sure if marriage was appropriate for us. We were like, why? We already,
We're committed to each other deeply.
Yeah, and I'm allowed to have sex with you and also make my own living. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to have sex with you, and there's contraception, so I can
sort that out.
I can take care of that. So I don't need you to promise you'll be around. So I don't know what's the for our story. And then it turned out that then he won a green card.
And
so he asked me to marry him on Google Chat because he was in New Zealand, and I was like, yes, but you have to ask me in person as well. And then he asked me at the airport when he picked me up.
At the airport?
Yeah, just at the public pickup spot with a bunch of flowers.
Really?
And he was directing the Robin Malcolm show, Agent Anna at the time, so he was driving the character car, this beat up little red sedan. He pulled up in that with a bunch of flowers, asked me to marry him. And there was one guy on the platform next to us, and if it was a movie, he would have been like, but it wasn't, so he just watched. Well, Pete got on his knees.
He did good. He got down on his knees.
He got down on this guy just watching. It's very funny.
That's so lovely.
And then we got married at the registry office really quick. Mm-hmm. And then a year and a half later, we had a big wedding, and we had a wedding-themed wedding. So everybody came dressed as brides and grooms, priests and bouquets.
A wedding-themed wedding.
Yeah.
So everyone dressed up, but not as
brides
guests.
and grooms. Yeah. We were like, people really had to be like, are you sure? Because there's a
whole thing. Oh, shall I wear white? Yeah. I can't wear white.
We were like, wear your old wedding dress if you can. So that's nice. You get a chance to do that. Or wear a really ugly wedding dress. Wear whatever you like. Just as wedding themed. Some people came as priests. Some people, Pete's cousin came as a bouquet. Mm-hmm. It was the best.
How many people at your wedding?
I think there was like 280 people.
No!
We were like, screw it, because we had the registry office wedding, which was like 20 people, family only. It was very fast and gorge. And we were like, we're just going to go for it. You want to bring a partner? Bring a partner. Bring a partner. And we had it at the Folds Park Irish Society Hall. I know. It was potluck. We asked everybody. So then we realised the purpose, the major theme of getting married for us was to bring our tribes together and have them meet. So everything at the wedding was designed to have people meet. Everyone, when they got the invitation, were asked to either bring a main dish, a dessert, nibbles or flowers, depending on if they were coming from overseas. And like there was a little placard that came with their invite so they could write what was in the food and who made it. Again, hoping that somebody might be like, Petra, did you make the potato dish? And that could be a starter conversation. Nice. And then when you arrived, you pulled a name from a hat and you had to find that person. You had to marry them by the end of the ceremony.
So like role play.
Yeah, we had like a photo room set up and we asked some of our funniest friends to come dressed as priests and marry people through so now we have this coffee table book with pictures of the most ridiculously weird pairings of people who had never met before getting married. You can make it however you like.
I think you're right in terms of the purpose of a wedding celebration and a marriage in essence is to invite community in, right? It is about, I think it is. Ideally not so much Instagram, but maybe more this, to make it, we're going to be needing you guys and you'll be needing us. Yes. We'll need some support and we'll need some love and we hope to come over for dinner and we hope to have you for dinner. Yeah. So you should know each other.
You all need to know each other.
Yeah, welcome.
And which is historically, that's one of the reasons people got married and like to make alliances and form friendships. Yeah, form friendships. Across
make babies. Did you love it? Did you have the best day?
We had the best day. It was so fun. At one point we danced in our undies. We just made it all up as we went, and it was great.
It's actually okay to push and pull these ideas around. And I think that's what I love about what you've done with your film, Stories
Thank you.
About My Body, is you've looked at how we are as humans with our bodies and you've not looked at that in a snapshot scenario, but you've looked at that in multiple slices of life and different seasons, different moments. So you've got this fantastic name, Morgana, that you probably have to spell all the time, that comes from this deep, literary heritage and the phone book.
Yes.
So it's both ordinary and awesome. And you grow up, and I know this isn't part of your movie, but you essentially, as a 12-year-old, don't think you're all that crash hot.
I didn't like how I looked at that age. And I probably, not that this is if at all unique story, but I really pained over that for ages. I still go, ugh. But I can unpick it way better now.
What do you mean?
Oh, when you just like going through, I feel like these things come and go. Like now as a 40-year-old person, I can dislike how I look, but I understand that will probably pass. The person I see in the mirror is going to look actually really different in a few hours, depending on if I've moved my body or eaten something or talked to a friend, or just so I understand how what's the word, ephemeral it is. These ideas are subjective to the hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
That how we feel about ourselves.
Yeah, totally. And what
isn't
you've done.
static.
Yeah,
it's not
that's
like
right.
set in concrete.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know about you, but when I felt good, I thought, oh, fantastic, this is going to last forever. And when I felt terrible,
you cracked it, eh? You're like,
that's
it.
I've made it.
Yeah, brilliant.
And when I felt bad, I was like, this is terrible. I'm going to feel like this forever.
Yeah. And it just feels like such an uphill thing. Yeah. And I think as a 12, 13-year-old, coming to, I think it's coinciding with
puberty.
Puberty, you're understanding that the way you exist in the world and how you look externally means something. Everyone will have different inputs into what that means, but and it can start to mess with your head a bit.
So, as women, how we look does have a significant impact on how we feel about ourselves, right? I'm not saying it doesn't have an impact on men. It has an impact on us in a way that is significant, though. It's
that feels significant.
That feels significant.
I don't know if it needs to be, but it feels significant.
Yes.
Just to clarify.
Yes, and look, men are subject to this. What does masculinity look, sound, feel like? So they have a burden to bear.
Yeah.
The burden that probably we know about is the female burden. So this idea that I heard somebody said to me the other day, I can't believe how useful pretty privilege is.
Yeah.
They were just like, I haven't done anything to earn this face.
Yeah.
Like I didn't make it.
Yeah.
But I'm attractive to people and they're nice to me. They help me, they're kind to me.
Yeah. I think I'm going to say we, but I think maybe these things vary from person to person, but there is a sort of shared understanding amongst women or the world that, and this is from, I can see now hundreds of years of input, and male dominance and things like that, where when you don't have power in the world, the way you look might make a difference. And there's a currency.
Yeah.
And when you can start to unpick that, then there's some interesting dissonance that gets to happen in here, because you get to, sometimes go, sometimes I want to play up to the conformity of our social beauty standards at the moment. That's quite fun. And then sometimes I want to smash them up, but you need to understand the system so that you can sort of fuck with the system a little bit, I guess. Now as well, I think of all that stuff I think of it like the consequences of having eaten some food that doesn't agree with you, that can make these thoughts come up with more potency. And now I know what my triggers are to start thinking and worrying about that stuff too much. Because of course we all say, oh, they're just so confident. If you're confident, you're gorgeous, which is true. And when I become too caught up in my own shit, because nobody else is thinking about my chin. Nobody else is thinking about the lines on my face. Nobody else is thinking about my cute little tummy. My thoughts go to these places in negative ways when I'm tired. A recent disappointment is a really good trigger for that stuff. Being just too full sometimes can make me think about that stuff. And so understanding what the things that kick off those thoughts are. If I haven't had a walk for a few days, I need to be walked like a dog. These are good. So now I can deal with that stuff much easier.
Do you have a name for these thoughts?
Ooh.
What do they sound like?
They sound like, do they sound like my voice, or does it sound like the voice of the world being like, you suck? I don't even want to say the things that my brain says to me out loud. I'm sure we all feel similar with the things.
Would you say a few of them?
Oh, you're too fat, you're too old, you're too fat, you're too old, and your chin's too saggy and you're never going to work again. Oh, it's so yuck. And yeah.
Mine are, you are useless. Oh. When will you ever learn? When will you get it right? Like they but you can hear, like, some people don't have self-talk. My daughter doesn't have it. She doesn't talk to herself like that.
Right.
I'm not saying she doesn't have her own things to deal with, to make herself feel well in the world and really be well in the world. But I think for me, saying them out loud gave me a perspective on how cruel and ridiculously strident they were. And they were so repetitive. Like, you're too old and you're too fat. Like, those things are so, that's something a bully would say, right?
Yeah. And actually, like, even pointing this out, I think that's really interesting. Like, what is the wording? Because actually mine is probably like, oh, you should probably fix. Oh, you should probably look at that. Or maybe if you... Those ones.
The relentless improvement. Like, you could be better.
Yeah, like,
you're really not measuring up to your potential. Yes.
Oh, yeah, maybe I could.
Yeah. I think that kind of self-talk is fully described as, I'm just taking care of you. I'm trying to help you be better.
It's practical, yeah. It's really trying to be practical in the face of things you can't control. And I notice that when life is really chugging along and people are saying lots of yeses to me, and like things are really going my way, I don't care. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, out here, I'm going to, our social beauty constructs is just a collective opinion, and I'm going to add my own opinion. But it's the disappointments that like make me go, maybe if we just
just tighten to this level, just a little tuck.
Totally.
Maybe if I only ate protein today, only protein, I could drop. Maybe if I only drop 5 kilos, then I'll get all the respect
that I deserve.
No, it's just a way of trying to be practical, probably, isn't it? It's an offshoot of that.
Okay, so how do you deal? Like, you picked a profession where rejection is just part of the job. You don't get every gig you go for.
Yes,
some people pick jobs where they don't. Rejection is not part of the process.
Yeah. You make a great point, Petra. Yes, you do. Yes, I didn't really think that one through. Okay. I do think possibly this job, much like being an elite athlete, requires a level, like, genuinely of just delusion.
You think elite athletes are a little bit delusional?
You need to, like, I remember hearing this, like, you need like a healthy spot of delusion.
Like, I'm the greatest in the world. I'm the fastest of the world.
You're in a pool with 10 other people the same size as you, the same weight and age bracket as you. They've had the same training as you, and you have to believe that you can beat them to the other end of the pool.
Yeah.
What the fuck makes you think that you can beat them?
Yeah.
And maybe that, I think to be a performer, maybe there's a bit of that too. Just a bit of
good quality delusional
thinking. Be like, yeah, I could do that.
And I guess it's just the amount and the texture of it that either makes it good for you or not so good for you.
Right. And like I said, disappointment is a really intense emotion. You see it with your kids, right?
Yes.
When you be like, you have to get out of the pool, we've got to go. Disappointment. I'm sorry you can't go to your friend's house tomorrow. So when I feel disappointment because I have not got a job, or it's not going as well as I thought, or the tickets aren't selling or something like that, that can smash my delusional thinking of everything's possible.
Great. Everything's possible.
Yes. So actually, the thing with the body stuff, which I think is ironic, is in the past, that's bared the brunt of a lot of my disappointment. So when a role hasn't gone my way, I've been like, too fat, too old, too shit. But the too shit thing hasn't come in too much. Like, my body has borne the brunt and my ability hasn't. So it saddens me to hear you say that you're useless. Whereas that's your, that's your ability taking the hit on that one.
Yeah.
So maybe you could realign it to some part of your body, like your knees suck. What's a really harmless way to hate your body?
Yeah.
Stupid ears.
Elbow,
stupid elbow. Yeah.
Just channel that.
Doesn't even feel anything when I pinch it hard.
The wiener skin.
Yeah.
I'd like to know how we might process disappointment well. Like, how would be what's a wonderful work of disappointment?
Yeah.
And where could we channel our hatred? It's so interesting.
Can I tell you what me and my daughter were talking about last night? I think this does relate. And I haven't stopped thinking about it all day, because I think I've really cracked something. Either that, or I've totally minimized her stress. Okay. But she was saying how she's been feeling stressed at school, which is totally valid. She's in her last year of primary school, and like trying to find the way, as any friend or parent would, to acknowledge that you're stressed, try to give some perspective on it. And we were sort of talking about, I was saying, as you move through school, there is a chance that when you get to high school, you're probably going to look back at this time and feel like it's easier. Again, being like, don't minimize her hurt, it's all right. Every time you feel stressed out, you're like a balloon. You push what you think you're capable of dealing with more and more, and until you become a grown-up. And everybody has dealt with stress, especially once you become a parent, that you're like, I just don't know how I could possibly be more stressed out. Oh my God. And then you get through another day and you're like, oh, bloody did that. So your capacity, I'm saying this too, your capacity for stress will grow and grow. That stress, and then we sort of go, stress is part of the human story. Everybody's stressed out. And then we got on this really great game where we were thinking about how people who we deem to be very wealthy, gorgeous, whatever, what their stresses might sound like. 'Cause there are people in the world who are going through such terrible things, and they would listen to what my stresses of the day are, and they'd be like, oh. And we were
like that face that you pulled. That was very good.
Oh, I still have for you.
Poor thing.
Oh God. And then we were thinking about it was quite fun for us both to role play being really rich and going, oh my gosh, so that, how we were going to go to Italy this weekend. So there's not enough jet fuel for the private jet, and we have to share it with everybody. So we can still go, but it's going to be 2 hours later than we thought. Oh, it's so annoying. That was quite fun. Does that relate? At all, but trying to process just how do you process disappointment healthily?
Yeah.
You put it in bloody perspective. That's what you do.
And it's also allowed to exist. What I hear you saying is there is stress and there is disappointment, and it's part of the human condition. So I don't have to try and get rid of it all and never feel it again, aka that's impossible.
Yeah.
But the stress and disappointment is allowed to be right-sized in my being.
Yes.
It can take up some space, but not too much space, and not all the space. And it doesn't feel like you're role-playing got into comparative suffering, that like, my such and such just got diagnosed with cancer, but it's not as bad as the people who are dying in the war. Like, you're actually allowed to suffer. Like, suffering, if we could say yes and hello to it and allow it to come in and go out.
Yes, and actually your capacity for stress and suffering is can be your capacity for compassion. 100%. So, like, we had fun with this projecting onto an idea humor, of being right? Like, my daughter loves horses, she loves horse riding, and going, what about this one? Oh my gosh. So like all of my 8 horses, all of my 8 ponies were like not even ready to go for a canter today when we asked all the stable hands to tack them up, and they weren't even ready, and I had to wait 10 minutes. It was so annoying, and she had fun with that one. But then we equal parts got to go, and then imagine who listens to our suffering and goes, like, a little girl in Afghanistan who's not allowed to go to school. Yeah. Or a little kid in Iran whose school's been blown up. Yeah. And here we are being like, school's stressful. And I'm like, I know, thinking about like a mother in Gaza, and I'm like, oh man, I have to get to the veggie shop and home again in time to walk the dog, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no.
I love that you're using humour and creativity to allow the feelings to be present and pass through, right?
Oh, yes, and look, there we are. We were like, oh, my juicy tummy, and we've got no food.
Yeah. It's kind of gorgeous. It's a bit glorious.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to pretend that you're really rich, and you could think about, oh my gosh, the pool, or my pool and my sauna are I just can't get them to the right temperature. It's so annoying. Get real angry about it.
Did doing White Lotus help with this? Seeing people be annoyed at...
Oh, well, that ruined it, because now my expectations of what I can get at a hotel... No.
Well, you know about it, but...
I know now. I know that apparently...
Can you ever afford it? Can we ever afford it?
Not. I know, literally... 98% of us can't.
No.
And it's...
Do we need it? Does it make us feel more loved, more well?
I guess
more whole?
what is... So recently, I bought off Trade Me one of those inflatable portable spas.
Nice.
And when I got into it the other day, it felt like I'd won something. I won a prize. I felt like... My ancestors, if they could see me now, would be like, yes.
Hot water in your home.
And it's like yours. And you're nudie, and it's gorgeous. When I get into bed with a electric blanket, I'm like, yes, winning. And you need some definite small wins. Would it be nice to be able to afford to go to the Four Seasons, Koh Samui for a week holiday here and there? Oh yeah, but I can't. But it was a nice prize at the time.
Yeah. Would it be nice to go there and not be able to afford it? But you're there?
In Thailand, in general, absolutely. Because then, of course, I was at the hotel probably wrestling with that as well, going, you guys think we're in Thailand. We're not in Thailand. This is not Thailand. So this is fun. And the pool's cool because I can open my eyes fully and it doesn't even hurt. That's how fancy the water
IPH. Is. I'll have my water IPH, please.
Totally perfect. Just swimming in clear eyes. Yeah. And but I was also like, I'm under no illusion that by coming here, I have done any kind of cultural observation of Thailand. Maybe I have an idea about the climate. And the lovely smiles of the staff, but that's all. And so I would try to escape the golden cage, as we called it. If you're ever at the Four Seasons, go somewhere, you can just duck down past the tennis courts and then through the little security area, hello, 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 and then duck out onto the real beautiful back beach. And that's how you get out.
Ooh, reality and fantasy. Sometimes they just nestle right up beside each other. And look, I don't think we have to reject either one. Rather, it's so grounding to acknowledge them and be grateful for the good things in our own lives, big and small. Coming up, we talk about turning 40 and looking like it. it's a revolution. Share this episode with your friends and please press follow on your favourite platform to get notified whenever we release a new episode. The team at Junora believe self-care shouldn't be complicated. That's why they've created clean, highly effective skincare and supplements designed by women for women to support you inside and out at every stage of life. Start with Go Nightly Overnight Repair Cream and wake up to visibly plumper, smoother, deeply nourished skin. Discover the full range at junora.co.nz. Work-wise, can we talk about, as a person who pretends to be other people for a living?
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
For you, not for me. I just pretend to be me the whole time. It's much easier.
We're all pretending to be us. Hi, how are you? How are you? Like, oh my God.
Are you asking or are you asking?
No, yeah.
Congratulations on being 40. You look bloody beautiful.
Thank you.
And you must be happy about your skin. And I can see some little lines on your forehead, which I do love.
Oh, yes.
Not big ones, not deep ones, not what I would call crevices or abysses or anything like that, but just lines of a life well lived. It does.
My face moves. And
how does that feel for you? In a sea of people who, like, we're caught between two very high pressured barriers.
Yes.
And one is you must look young and perfect forever.
Yes.
And one is you definitely must not look like you're trying to look young and perfect forever.
Yes. It is such an interesting and
impossible.
Yeah. I think a lot of things about these things.
Okay.
I think now about conformity and adornment a lot.
Okay.
Trying to see these two things as different and unpacking. I love to take care of my skin. I love putting on makeup. I love getting dressed up. I love these things. At what point, seeing these as two things, there is conforming to a social beauty construct of today. These things are fashion, they're different.
The way your eyebrows are supposed to look, the way you contour.
Whereabouts in the world you live.
Yes.
What area you live in will define.
The beauty.
Yeah, you can figure it out.
Ideals.
And it's informed by heaps of stuff. It's not, I think as well, I kind of have started to resent that the beauty norms are just inflicted upon me. Mm-hmm. That actually we can contribute to this opinion. It doesn't have to be like that. There is a very empowering thing or interesting thing if one looks in the mirror and sees these and goes, gorgeous. You don't have to believe it, but just say it. Gorgeous. What if I just said that these are gorgeous? Then I'm just contributing to the social, the opinion, collective opinion.
Yes.
So there's conforming to that. However, that might mean this is woo-woo, this is whatever you want it to be, but it's a nice way for me to unpack it. If I was to get Botox and to erase lines, do what you want, but maybe doing that is a type of conforming to a social beauty standard of wanting you to look younger. Also wanting a woman to maybe look like she's not concentrating or thinking enough. I don't know. I just find these lines are so kind of gorge on men, and if we're thinking about them subconsciously, they add to the idea of authority, intelligence, and leadership. Maybe. And if that's the case, why are we taking our ones away? What are we trying to look like we're not doing?
Not thinking.
Not being leaders. Not being concerned. Maybe. So maybe trying to cover it, we're going to conform. But in saying that, then adornment is that has crossed cultural paths, that has crossed gender lines, that has crossed demographics, and has existed globally for millennia, we love to dress up. We love to adorn, put things in our ears, put tattoos on our skin, jewelry, makeup. These have existed all around the world throughout history without anybody having spoken to each other about it. Embroidery on our clothes. And so maybe when I do my hair, I'm adorning my face. I'm celebrating my face. When I put eye makeup on my eyes, then I'm celebrating my eyes, and I want people to look at them. And that has felt like quite a good guideline for moving forward. And there are times, especially, I'm dealing with disappointment or whatever, and in my brain I'm like, maybe you could just, and
so you
have
saying,
to ask yourself, is that a celebration or an apology?
So when you're dealing with disappointment and you start to question whether or not you're going to tweak your face to make it look younger to get you that gig, that's the ideology. You're saying, am I dealing with, what was the question you just asked?
Is it conformity? Is it celebration or apology?
I'm sorry for looking like I do. I'm sorry for how I am. I'm sorry for who I am.
That's right.
Or
look, oh my gosh, I really want to accentuate how I look. And then, of course, I mean, this sounds maybe kind of naff as well, but
I'm liking your vision of naff. I'm adopting it thus far. Yep.
The best way I find to remind myself that I'm really beautiful is when I smile. Everything lifts, my eyes are bright, and I can totally, you can smile and not mean it.
So you're saying,
but if you're happy and fulfilled,
your
face shows it. You light up, But in saying that, I do find this, it's quite interesting now at an accelerating speed. My whole face seems to want to be falling down, and I always think of Kent Brockman from The Simpsons pulling back his face with a peg because there was no Botox left in Springfield.
It's so fun. I really love your impersonations of body parts that
thank
I've intersected
you.
with. You do an excellent impersonation of boobs.
Oh, yes.
And different stages of their life. And you do an excellent impersonation of a penis.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I highly recommend people see the movie to experience both, I think.
Yeah.
Or in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the film.
Do you want to see an impersonation of, when you look down into your bra at your boobs?
Okay. For the people who are listening to this, I may help, but otherwise,
yes.
for those
of course.
watching on YouTube or Spotify,
Yeah,
please.
you can see it.
Let's do it.
I just think they're so sweet because that's like they're sleeping.
Okay.
Oh God, like they're really. You look down and look.
Oh, guys, no, leave me alone.
I'm
so happy here.
Yeah.
I'm
like
snuggled.
Like a little old cat who's been woken. Oh God. Oh, and maybe you have to, get a bit erect. The nipple. I'm talking about the nipple when I say erect.
Nice. You do good impersonations of body parts. I can see a little mini series or something.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, just pitch it to Peter or to your girlfriends or
just
to
a whole TV
whoever.
series where I play all the parts,
Different parts of a body,
all the different parts of my body, chatting to each other. I'm into it. I think it's a great idea.
They could have a wild and naff time together.
Sounds naff, but whatever. I am doing that a lot during this chat.
No, you've only said
preempting and saying,
"Oh yeah,
this might sound naff," but
it's being self-conscious, I guess. It's the awareness that things maybe can sound.
Yeah, I'm just really aware and really smart, and I'm really good at thinking about lots of other people listening. It's hard being me.
It's very
sometimes,
but so much fun.
Yeah,
because I love the fact that you use the phrase "I've come home to my body."
Oh, nice.
I love that you use that phrase. I've used that phrase. That idea that you could be not without dialogue with your body, not without struggle, not without effort, but that you might find a home, aka a safe space to inhabit that provides you a lot of resources.
Yeah.
Like your body provides you nutrients and oxygen and the ability to move through the world, and it provides you, a place to receive data and information and touch and all the good things, right?
Yes.
And the fact that would be your home, and that you would be in it, like, it's a really wonderful thing. Like, it's something I think as women we can accidentally, and I'm quoting Hilary McBride here, we can end up living on our front lawns and like looking at our bodies, like, and then looking at other people's bodies as if they were houses, like, oh, she's got a nice balustrade. Or
or you can have all the things in the nice rooms that people are allowed to go to, and you keep all the things that you really like in the rooms where nobody's allowed to go to, and you're just one big mask of civility, and you're not authentically in all the rooms.
Using all the
I love an analogy. That is really nice.
Using all the resources that are available to us and actually getting to be in our body and actually loving on that. Like I noticed that in your film you talk about your belly and your tummy, and I know that there's a visceral reaction for some women about the idea of belly, but you talk about touching your tummy.
Trying to touch it more.
And be like, this is mine, it belongs to me. And it isn't the shape of the 1 or the 0.38% of women who have outrageously strong and well-defined abs through to their specific genetic makeup and the full-time job they have getting abs and maintaining abs.
And who are genetically lucky enough to find themselves in this day and era, in this geographic location in which that's deemed to be really
attractive.
Hot babe. You could be the poor person with really defined abs throughout your life at a certain point of history in a certain part of the world where they're like, scrawny, so scrawny,
not healthy,
not mother material.
Exactly.
She'll die in childbirth. As a perception, I don't know.
Idea. But I will often go to sleep now with my hand on my tummy, and it's
really nice.
It's really lovely, and it's more curvaceous. It's possibly more soft than it's ever been in its life. But it's actually doing a wonderful job of digesting my food and helping me keep my insides in.
And it is just a bunch of guts and insides, isn't it? And now
it's got an important job to do.
Now they know how much serotonin's being made in there, and like your belly, is it your vagus nerve that goes from your belly to your brain?
Something like that.
And the information is predominantly going to the brain, not back the other way.
Yeah.
So your belly, it's just all, Sometimes I feel after getting a massage, I have a better sense of where my body ends, and that can be quite nice, put me into perspective a little bit. Sometimes in my brain I am this big abstract floaty thing, so being touched, whether it be by somebody else or for you, it gives yourself some boundaries, like, okay, I only go to there. I just go to there.
It's not that far.
It's really not that far.
Yeah. No, I find it, it's a I don't know, it's a practice that's started to happen where I will warm my stomach and actually touch it, and it's not ginormous, even though I feel like it is, like you say, there are edges to us, aren't there? And they're okay, there are edges.
That's a nice idea, to try and also be much more mindful in your belly worship.
Yeah,
it could be a nice practice that you bring into your life.
Yeah, and like it's like you saying, I wanted to parrot you, gorgeous. When you look in the mirror and you see some lines, I remember a friend of mine telling me I love laughter lines, and I had never heard a single soul in the entire world, in the whole of my life, ever say anything positive about lines on the face of a woman. Never, ever, ever. And she said, I love laughter lines, and I was like, what are you talking about? The concept that lines could be good and okay and tell a story, right? But you've redeemed your stretch marks.
Yeah.
You have a way of talking about stretch marks on your body.
They look like silver tendrils, they look like my boobs. Like two bright suns in the sky, now. And all of it as well, trying to reframe. Just, if for nothing else, just for my own sanity. It's interesting how we do adorn ourselves we get our nails done, earrings, tattoos, And those things we're really happy to say, I do love my new earrings. Do you love my, and we don't do that.
Say,
I
"Do
did
you
a
love
video
my new
on TikTok
line?"
years ago where I was like, do you know what I've just got? I've just got these. Aren't they gorgeous? And these and these, and they're going to grow. And so they're probably
And
going to
you're
be
pointing
really
to the lines
gorgeous.
on your face.
And that video just went totally viral. People were like, I've never heard anybody, like, imagine if you just talked about like the new additions to your
Mole.
face and body, what it was
Crease.
doing as like, oh my gosh, look what I've just got. Oh my
Wow.
gosh, I've just noticed. Imagine. Why not? Far out. Even if you don't believe it. I mean, yeah.
So what you're saying though, when you don't believe it, is that you can tell yourself something that could be true before you can sense it
Or goes against
feel
your
its
conditioning.
truth. Yeah.
Goes
So when
against-
you're reprogramming, restoring your body or sense of self,
Yeah.
or the opinion that society holds about
Yeah.
you can actually say something that you hope to believe in the future.
Yeah. I heard about a study a little while ago where a group of random people were selected, they knew they were in a study, but then they were told that they were going to sing karaoke live in front of people in about half an hour. And half of them were instructed to just say, I'm excited, even if they didn't feel excited. And the other half weren't. And it showed that the people that were encouraged or instructed to say they were excited to sing consistently hit the notes at a better rate than the others. So by these mantras, it's not a new idea, maybe to sort of go, gorgeous, gorgeous, I love it, it's beautiful.
Gorgeous. But maybe it is literally like exercise. We don't go to the gym and think, I've got muscles, therefore I'll exercise. You would go, you would start to do some form of movement to build something, right? And we understand the concept of building strength in our bodies. So we could build cognitive strength or emotional strength by speaking truth, and it's like an exercise. It's not untrue or invalid. It's
a practice.
Yeah,
it
is. Oh man, we're solving the problems of the
I
world.
reckon. And of course, the hardest part with that practice,
What is the hardest part?
Is when you are not feeling like an awesome person in whatever capacity it is. So that's when the rubber hits the road with all that stuff. And so understanding when you're going, I can't because I'm not. You go, what's happening? Are you tired? Are you low on iron? Are you dealing with a recent disappointment? Are you, there's other reasons. Doesn't mean, it just to acknowledge, it's just a bit hard to be super into myself at the moment because XYZ.
There's things going down. There's a context, a horopaki.
Yes.
Yeah, there's always a context.
That's
the context is important.
That's huge. Yeah.
It is, isn't it? You called dopamine in your movie the hormone of feminism.
Yeah. That was it.
That's kind of fun.
I know. That's a Naomi
Because dopamine's a
Wolf.
hot topic right now.
Right. So Naomi Wolf's book, Vagina, was really huge for me.
I need to read it.
It's fabulous. I actually listened to it as an audiobook and it was a great listen. That was really revolutionary. She also wrote The Beauty Myth. I think apparently she's got some controversies about her.
She does. Yeah,
So I've taken the things that I found really helpful. And that was her whole passage about the vagina and being, having more dopamine in your system makes you more motivated and energized, making dopamine the hormone of feminism.
Who would have thought? What a lovely way of thinking about it. Because for a lot of people who are, especially women, there's a lot of women on the journey of kind of coming home to their own brains in this season, going through maybe perimenopause and hitting some of the, for me, how I describe it as the scaffolding gets shaken until some of it falls down and you're like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
It turns out I might have some neurodivergence in my field of view here.
Yeah, right.
This could be part of my whole way of being in the world. And so then dopamine is this thing you hear that you are low on.
Right.
So you hunt for it. So dopamine hunting, and there are qualities of dopamine. Quick dopamine shoots you up and then your body tries to create stasis or equilibrium. So then you drop down. So what we're after ideally
doom
is
scrolling.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're after slow release dopamine,
Okay.
which brings us up gently, and then we go down again gently. So this idea of living in a way that is, resourced in a dopamine department.
Yes.
And I love the idea of dopamine being like, oh, it's good for taking action. It's good for being my bravest self in the world.
Yeah. What is this? How do you get the slow release dopamine?
How do you get it? How do you get some of that? You clean your house. You exercise.
Oh, yeah.
You read a book. You turn your shower cold.
Like low GI. No, what's the low glycemic index?
Yeah, foods. Yeah, actions.
Dopamine.
I hope you enjoy the cleanness of the rug. I vacuumed the studio before you arrived. And I'm thinking to myself, I've got to vacuum the rug. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to get some dopamine from this because this rug is going to look so great and I'm going to feel so great in here. And I did that hard thing. So doing hard things gives you dopamine. I did it.
That's really good because when cleaning,
Yeah.
I do notice that I spend the time that I take cleaning usually is in my head going, why am I the only one who's fucking doing this? I can't believe it.
And when I have made it, I will get a cleaner. But I'm now like, wow.
Why isn't anybody else doing this?
Yeah.
And just, victimization. And then I finish and then I'm like,
Oh, I'm so amazing.
can I please? Yeah. And then it's like, I
have
can
some reward?
think properly. It's brilliant. But I like this for while I'm cleaning to try and thread through a little bit more aspirational positivity of this. This is going to be so great.
I am getting myself some dopamine right now.
I'm
getting this done.
Man.
It's completely changed my orientation towards the pointlessness of the repetitive tasks of keeping my own environment nice. That actually makes so much point, right? I want to be in a nice, clean, tidy space.
I feel like that about exercise actually, because I think for so long it was something to be done to lose weight, quote unquote lose weight. If you're listening, I'm doing those little bunny ear things with
the
my
quotation
fingers.
marks.
Lose weight, you've got to lose weight. And now I realize that it's a dopamine source. I need to do it to keep my brain juicy and pink and fluffy and moist and happy. Otherwise it starts to get mean to me. And it's just a maintenance thing. And it doesn't have to be related to changing one's figure.
And with the you, I took what you say 100%. And I liked your description of your brain.
Isn't she lovely?
Good. We were never allowed to say moist on Ice TV.
You weren't allowed to say
or
it.
flaps.
People, flaps.
Yeah.
Oh, flaps are the best. I've been trying to replace anytime you want to use the term, you got to have that takes balls or that's.
I've got a new
would
one.
like to replace it with flaps.
Yes, I said to somebody, that's quite ballsy. I said, no, let's make that glittery.
Oh, clitty.
Glittery.
Oh, nice.
They
Glittery.
liked it because it was like glittery.
Oh, glittery.
Glittery.
I was like, that takes flaps.
That takes flaps.
Because
It's quite good.
Yeah, the things your flaps can do and deal with are like more than any balls deal with. They open up and let babies out and all kinds of things. And I don't want to, I don't know what other people are doing.
Who
knows what you're putting in there?
You've got the camera person laughing. My favourite line from
my
you.
attempt at being egalitarian with I don't know what you're putting in. Penises, coins, I don't know, whatever.
Coins.
But it's dealing with stuff.
Good idea. Coins. Haven't tried it. Do not recommend. Coins. Hey, can we talk about success?
Yes.
I'm just so loving this adornment. I just so love your adornment, conformity,
paradigm
because we're somewhere in between conformity and adornment, right? But I love the fact that when I decided not to dye my hair anymore and be like, I think this silver is going to suit me. Like I'm not suffering. I'm not paying for it. I'm not damaging my hair. And I like how it looks. Yes, it was a risk. and no one has said we want you on telly ever again. so sure, there's a frame within which we live and work. But hey, I'm on YouTube now, so
you can do whatever you like.
Exactly. And I'm like, because I've decided not to die. Does that mean now that I can't do anything? Like I give it all away. Like I stop caring at all. And I thought so. And I'm like, it doesn't seem to fit. It doesn't fit that because I'm not doing this, I don't do anything. Like we have this, if I'm recycling, then I have to do,
I can't catch planes. And I can't drive cars.
Yeah, if I'm going to be ethical, I have to be fully 100% ethical without any part of, whereas this adornment, conformity paradigm allows me to ask the question, in this decision, am I conforming or am I adorning? Like
and you can literally choose either. Doesn't matter. You go, I'm just going to conform today. I'm into it. Or everybody's doing that and I love it. I'm here for it.
Drop crotch pants. I was not into
Great
it for
example.
so long. I'm like, whatever. Like, get dumb. So ugly.
Have you conformed?
Have you seen my shorts? They
are dropped up.
My crotch is down my knees.
You've got those lovely tall long legs. When I do it looks like a poo in pants. But like that's all right.
I'm like, wow.
And even the things that we poo-poo, like Botox or filler or something like that, like you could just as easily be like, I fill my lips, I'm totally adorning my face with these crazy, wonderful, juicy, moist lips.
Oh, that sounds so spacious to me. That question, am I conforming or am I adorning? And knowing there's room for both. I love it. Coming up, we talk about the evolving definition of success as we age. You can find me on Instagram. I'm at Petra Bagust. And if you prefer to watch your podcasts, the full episodes are on video on both Spotify and YouTube. The team at Junora believes self-care shouldn't be complicated. That's why they've created clean, highly effective skincare and supplements designed by women for women to support you inside and out at every stage of life. Start with Go Nightly Overnight Repair Cream and wake up to visibly plumper, smoother, deeply nourished skin. Discover the full range at junora.co.nz. So let's talk about success then, because there's this sense as women, like they say, if you're a pop star and you haven't made it by 20, you forget about it. Like there are these scripts, right, that we are supposed to conform to. And there were a lot of gatekeepers. There were people who controlled what was on radio, what was on TV. These days, the algorithms are trying to control what we see, but we do have more, I think, agency than we've ever had or ability to interrupt the algorithm. And so my podcast exists and the network initially, or someone at the network initially was like, who's going to listen to that middle-aged woman talking about middle-agedness, and I'm like,
who's laughing
jokes
now?
On you, 1 million downloads. So what I'm wondering now is, in terms of when we think about success and you think about a performance-based space, I talked to Robin Malcolm recently, and she's living her best life at 61.
Yeah, get
She
it.
is like, it doesn't mean there's no struggle. It doesn't mean she's not in Scotland looking for roles, but she is doing work that is so fulfilling and so courageous and telling stories that need to be told. What's your definition of success?
Oh, I mean, I think it's so interesting. It's constantly moving and changing and shifting. I think, like you say, there's much more smaller circles of opinion now.
So fragmented circles of opinion?
Yes, because in older times, maybe you've got 1 or 2 newspapers, you've got 1 or 2 channels.
Networks.
So you've got less gatekeepers and probably men, so they are choosing what is on
makes sense
in
to
those
them,
spaces,
right? What works,
because
the guarantees.
Yeah, that's right.
What they
and
like.
they are in a world where women are perceived a certain way, and so these spaces are becoming more fragmented or insular. So you can find your niche, and you want to be a middle-aged woman talk about middle-aged things. You'll find the middle-aged woman, and they'll listen to it. It's wonderful. And then authenticity, that word comes up. I love when you were talking about somebody like Robin, And as you maybe get older, I often hear women saying, I just give less shits now. Maybe that's because you're able to live more in your authentic self. Maybe it also refers to the fact that you're in your 20s and 30s as a woman, you're sexualized in a different way. Mm-hmm. You are observed. You're much more of an observed sex, gender, and that's where you feel that feeling of currency.
And you're building your identity, and you are potentially fulfilling that biological thing of am I breedable? Like there's a
right.
There's a
or
script
your sense
there.
of value is tied to that, and that's whether that's biology or the stories that we've been told.
Or both.
And so I feel like there's the bridge from like 35 to I feel like I'm still on it of entering the middle years.
Midlife.
Yeah, is like long and varied and shifting from a more observed woman to a more embodied woman, maybe. And there are really scary moments in that, because I, for whatever reason, think deep in lizard brain a lot that my value in the world is tethered tightly to how I look. And so as the way I look changes and goes against a social opinion about youth, I said to my husband the other day, I was like, the feeling is like I'm losing money. It's like somebody's taking money out of my bank account and there's nothing I can do about my value is going down, perceived value going down. But then I guess what takes its place is your true character, and hopefully that you're able to rebuild. And that's why I think like women in their middle years, especially like women in their like 60s, are so fucking cool, because they have done it. They've built themselves back up. They've been stripped back and built back up. And maybe, and again, this is generalization, but men exist like my husband just turned 50 and he's more handsome than ever. Like men's perceived beauty
value
continues into an older space because their perceived value is tied to their authority, to their intelligence, and things like that, which is interesting that that's how it works. So I think maybe men face their external value diminishing at a later age, and they have to pick that back up faster, or they become really grumpy and really antisocial. Whereas the women in their life have done it. They've gone through it and they've like found their social groups and they're just like living their best life.
So good. I love this. And so can we, it's so good to hear what you're saying, and I love your metaphor, like that somebody's taking money out of your bank account, because it is a perception, right? I've heard that women are taken more seriously when they're older. We have to know this. We're taken more seriously. We are less observed. We are more embodied. We are taken more seriously.
Yeah.
And there's a season where we think we've crested the hill, but we haven't.
That's right.
Women in their 50s are very, very employable. I think we need to know it to be able to offer it to ourselves and then to anybody else who wants to employ us, right?
Yeah.
But it has changed. So the changes, those transitions are tough. When you're, I used to do this, I used to be this, I used to think this, I used to feel this, and now I am transitioning into a different season.
Yeah.
How do you do that as a person who performs?
I know. Well, I feel a great duty, only because I think I see this in others. Seeing people in public places, in public positions, kind of run from their age, then I fear it as well. I feel a great duty to show up on screen with as much authenticity as I can. There's no prize for that. There's no and the Oscar for the most authentic aging process in an actress aged 25 to 65 goes to, it's just like
Morgana O'Reilly.
I feel great duty to just try and keep moving through each season and name it and and mourn the things that seem to no longer be there.
Yeah, you can grieve
But
the loss.
acknowledge these new things that
Yep.
arrive, which is that's cool.
Celebrate the arrival.
Celebrate.
It's
the
a good thing.
arrival. It's a good thing.
I do mourn the loss of collagen. You know, when you put your hands in the air dryer and you're like, whoa, that skin moves in a way that is not.
I know, and when my face just sits there, I'm like, why is it all going? Anyway, it's fine, and there's all the things, but
So for you, you've chosen to stay in New Zealand. You've been involved in a great variety of productions. You've been in Neighbours in Australia, and you made an Emmy Award-winning COVID series called Inside, and you've done Mean Mums, and you've done White Lotus, Fan Fave. You've had all these incredible experiences, right? Have you arrived? Have you succeeded?
sometimes.
Yes, that's how I see
Tides
it.
on the beach, eh?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
In all honesty, at the moment, I feel like my tide is receding. Just look at cyclic, and I'm not saying that. And I've sort of had to reckon with a great sort of. Actually, I felt quite blue the last month going. I think the last of the White Lotus glory felt like it was receding, and I'm back to square one. I mean, this is the brutal honesty of being an artist anywhere. I think is right. Like you just keep chugging along and keep making work. And there is maybe a perceived idea that if you're an artist, somebody's going to come along and be like, you got
rescue
it.
you.
And I'm going to make you a star. Yes. That doesn't really happen. And if it does, for some people, it happens briefly again and it receives and comes back again. So, yeah, I feel lucky that and grateful I can look back on some really cool wins and when the tide's out, that's when, again, the rubber hits the road. How are we going to keep resilience and satisfaction and authenticity in those moments?
What do you do when you feel blue?
I need to walk. I need to talk. I talk to my friends. I call my best friend. I call my cousins. I talk to my partner. And I write. I paint. I get some Reiki. Reiki's great. That's a new thing that I've been enjoying. And equal parts cerebral unpicking of what's really going on. I went to the doctor and I still need to go and get a blood test and see if maybe I was like, oh God, am I low on iron? I don't know.
So you, even in your blue moments, you're allowed to tend to yourself. You're allowed to care for yourself.
That practicality brain again being like, okay, maybe. So that's actually the good side of that practical brain is going, okay, I reckon you should book to go to see the GP on Tuesday, and then you can go get some Reiki on Wednesday, and then you'll get the bloods. So that if there is something going on, then you could take that to like a holistic healer, and then they can look over that. No.
Brilliant.
I
love it because I do think that there's this Western perception of success, which is very much I'll be okay when. It's always in
destination.
It's always in the future,
Yes.
right? You've never done enough. We've never done enough to satisfy ourselves. Whereas if we're allowed to succeed, which is not a destination, right? To celebrate, to grieve, to enjoy, to pursue, to push through, to relax into. If we're allowed to do all these things like the tides, if we're allowed to cycle through all of these feelings, then it is this journey that this is what it's about. This is living.
I know, it's just crunchy. We're just going to go on the... do you know I have this silly in-joke that I do with my children?
Nice.
And this came about we're very much like if they fall over and hurt themselves, it's always like oh dear, I don't really like the "you're all right" phrase, because I feel like let's acknowledge you just hit your head there, and and then I felt like the kids got to an age where like every little thing was this huge deal, and so this could sound so terrible, but like I had to teach them. I would say, and if you say to them, "What is life filled with?" and they will say, "Pain." And then we quickly follow it with, which is why we have to find the joys. And trying to thread this into our words, like our day-to-day, of the idea of a joy in life. Joy in life is good because, again, we think that happiness or success is a destination to arrive at and to then
or that we could
stay.
sustain forever and ever and ever. I shall remain happy and never feel any other feeling.
That's right. And if you're able to go, joy in life, oh my gosh, joy in life, this is a joy in life, I wouldn't change it. It's glorious.
Yeah.
Here I am chatting with you in this beautiful setting, chatting about these things that make my brain go fizzy, fizz, fizz. Glorious. And so, like, I love, my daughter once said, she goes, oh, I figured out a joy in life today, Mum. Sitting in front of the heater with a book next to a dog. I was like,
joy in life.
Joy in life.
Joy in life.
That's surely it, is like, and this is a practice. We have to keep reminding ourselves. I even realized the other day, I was like, I like the word gratitude. I haven't done lots of like gratitude practice of being like, what am I grateful for? I'm trying to be better at that. I walk up a lot of maunga in Tamaki, getting to the top of a maunga and just naming a few things I'm grateful for. For a little while, I was naming things I was thankful for, but I realized if I said thankful, it made me feel really small. Oh, thank you. And the power of just changing it to I feel grateful felt like the difference between awe and wonder. I felt open-chested and like proud to be grateful for something versus thankful. I'm minimizing myself.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
just subtle differences, right?
Just a subtle difference of like, again, these are just really practical ways.
Yes, they are.
To like get through life.
Yes, they are. And you can put them in your kit, eh?
Throw yourself off the building.
I like you talked about a toolbox. I love a toolbox. I love having tools in a toolbox.
Oh yeah, really great.
So did premarital counselling, put some tools in the toolbox for the relationship.
Yeah, good. Premarital counselling.
Yeah. I was like, we are going to get this. No, we're going to nail this.
Oh, mate.
Don't worry.
Nail it. Stop it. That's a really good part.
And been back to counselling since because it's good to get a top up. Sometimes your tools need sharpening.
That's right. Say things out loud.
Charge.
And say things out loud to somebody who's paid to listen that you don't have to feel like, should we talk about you for a little bit?
You don't have to feel
Do we have to talk about
guilty.
How have you been?
The joy of therapy that people have not discovered. It's all me. So good.
It's the joy of auditioning that people don't discover. That's my trick to enjoying an audition is they have to watch. Oh, no one else in my life has to watch. That's not entirely true. They don't have to watch later, but while you're auditioning, they have to watch.
Fantastic. That's a good way of doing it. Like twist the terrible thing. Auditioning is horrific.
How can we slant this in a different way? That's
so
right.
horrible.
Go against everything from the lines on your face to the things that you have to do during the day.
Just walk around, just shift them slightly.
Just shift them.
Look at it from a different level. You're gorgeous.
Gorgeous, love it.
And I have to repeat that life is full of pain.
Yes,
What is life filled with?
Which is why we have to find that joy.
So you call out what is life filled with?
Yes.
After they've fallen over and they say pain.
Well, maybe not straight away.
No. But they're naming something that's true. They're in pain right now. So
pain is a part of the human story. And like we were talking about before, if you could have all the things and your life will still be painful because your pool isn't heated to the perfect temperature and your Ferrari's running 5 minutes behind from being dropped off at the front gate. Ugh, so annoying.
So good. Life is full of pain. Yeah. This is a complete life hack. I wish I had a better phrase for it. Is that once we reconcile ourselves to the fact that life has pain in it, and pain is a very important messenger. Yes. Without it, we would be in a lot of trouble, aka have damaged ourselves terribly. If we couldn't feel pain, we would be crippled. We would have bitten our tongues off. We would be...
and you wouldn't have learnt anything.
I know. And actually the pain doesn't take up the whole frame, and we're not supposed to be there, put there by somebody else. But if we reconcile ourselves to the fact that pain has a part of the story, and it can also be tended to and cared for and comforted and taken away.
And that we all really do this. Like everybody's flavour is slightly different, but humans... we choose temporary discomfort for future gain all the time.
Yes, we do.
Some people are incredible at you study. I mean, that's painful, but so that you can achieve something later.
Yes.
I think
Move our bodies
we
so that we
move
can
our
be
body, we
stronger later.
exercise, that's right. And of course, my favourite is childbirth. I mean, it is like, it is
Pain with a purpose.
With a purpose. It is functional pain, and it makes for the moment afterwards so much more potent. And you can't escape it. So whether you've scheduled a C-section, whatever, you can't escape the pain, literal, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual pain of transitioning to motherhood, because it's going to hurt at some point. And that is important because it means something. Yeah, I'm into it.
Preach it, sister. And that is, I guess, the most potent part of your film. And that was a sellout tour. You toured a one-person show.
Yes.
And what made you decide to make it into a movie, like a film?
Oh, again, practical brain.
Yes.
I was like, okay, so I've got this show and I like it, but audience really like it. It seems to mean a lot for people.
Women sharing stories of their bodies.
People would, and I
lives.
then I realized this is not just my story. This is
more universal.
Yeah, and it's important. And like, great, okay, cool. I've got something here. How do I do this? Okay, I guess I could tour it. I could keep touring it. I don't want to be away from my kids for too long. I can't afford to take it up to Edinburgh and all that stuff. Wait a second, my husband is very good at making things on screen. And I'm quite good at making things on screen too. If I can put this on screen, then it can live without me.
Yeah.
And I can grow out of it, because also the POV, my point of view in that show, I am changing and moving forward. I got new things to say. So I decided to funnel all my efforts, all the efforts that I would have put into producing tours left, right and centre. I just funneled it into making it on screen.
And how much did it cost you?
Well, we crowdsourced $30,000.
Wow.
And we had another 20 from a couple of lovely investors. So it's $50,000.
Unbelievable.
And so what I love is every frame is fueled on kindness of that film.
The credits are delightful to read. I kept pausing them.
Thank you.
There are so many creatives.
Yes.
There are people whose names I know from theatre and television and life.
Great.
People who care about stories, right?
Yes.
And they've put some money into your campaign.
Yes.
And you thank them all, and you thank every audience member.
Yes.
I think it's testament to kindness, to creativity, to the power and purpose of telling stories and sharing vulnerably. Like, you've talked a lot about authenticity, but your vulnerability is magnificent, and your sense of humour is so wonderful. Like the topless opening, that's just brilliant. Let's get the boobies out. It's brilliant.
Thank you. I'm so glad. That was.
Did I set a spoiler? Should I not have said that? It's just
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be.
We can cut it.
Because I think that is an important thing for people to know.
It's so wonderful.
Thank you.
It's like confronting, and it's celebratory, and it's like, oh yeah.
I'm glad that you like that, because there was a moment there where it was sitting with a distributor. They were considering it, and they came back and they said, oh yes, very, very funny, very funny. About that nudity and birth footage. It was like, oh. And it's so interesting. We did a version, we took out that slow-mo shot.
Yeah.
Just to sort of appease. And my vanity is like, get it out, it's fine. But trying to convince somebody who has money that that not only will it be okay, but actually I think it might be the thing that is special about it is really hard. And in the end, they came back and went, no. And I was like, actually, thank God. I started to...
As a no, we'll leave it in.
No, we won't take it. We don't want the film.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, okay, that's great. Because I want somebody who wants it.
Who believes it and understands it.
Goes, yes.
Are you ever going to make your money back?
I don't know. I'm not particularly expecting to. I don't know. Everybody at every turn of making films tells you how hard the landscape is for selling it and making money on it. So the one thing that gives me a bit of hope is, we are planning a cinema release of sorts in July, and which I think a lot of other distributors would have said that's not a cinema film. That's just going to settle into some streaming platform if you're lucky. And I think it is the type of film, hopefully, where gaggles of women book.
I would like to see it with my
together.
friends. Yeah,
That's
I would
right.
like to go to it like it was the live show. I was like,
Yes.
how did I miss the live show?
I
feel so upset I missed the live show. And now I get to live in the live show by going, because I was going to say, how do people find it? Obviously, I was like, how do people get to experience it? Because it's a story that feels expansive and inclusive and invitational, and there's space for me inside the story that you tell.
Great.
Whether my experience is similar or different to yours, I feel like you've left space for us.
You didn't work in fetish parties?
I didn't. No. How did you know? Oh.
I don't know. You just figure everyone's
okay.
gone through that phase, and I just wanted to speak about it in the show.
I did home birth, but
Gorgeous.
not the only way to give birth.
No, but it saves on parking and petrol, which
It
is
does just that
great.
discomfort of being squished into a car. I didn't fancy it, so I thought let's just stay here.
That was going to stop everything.
I didn't like transferring this. I'm not big on transfers.
Yeah, no. I always say, like, with about birth, it's like, where would you rather poo?
At
Your
home.
body is about to open up and become
Yeah.
very vulnerable for
Yeah.
a second. Would
At
you
home.
like to go
I'd
and
like to
poo
go
in the
home.
office or at home? Absolutely.
Yeah. But I understand lots of people would prefer to poo with a professional nearby.
To
and
help
they
the
give
poo
birth
come
in the
out.
hospital. Yeah, exactly.
I also think let's take the birth out
Yeah.
of the hospital and put it in a CrossFit gym
Oh.
where pain is progress.
Oh,
In a gym, pain is progress. When you've reached your threshold, your trainer goes, yes, this is where we're making progress. And if you pull a hamstring, it's very obvious that something else has gone wrong. And then we go to the hospital and we say, thank goodness for the hospital.
This is a nice metaphor. Metaphor.
I do love an analogy. Oh, yes, I do. Tidy.
So good. Good pain and bad pain. There is bad pain that needs tending to because it's an emergency and something's broken, and there is good pain,
Yes.
which is
Progressive pain.
exercise,
Functional
giving
pain.
birth, functional pain. That's
Yes.
good. That's a good phrase.
Waking up early to get somewhere. Ouchie.
Ouch. Did you enjoy Hamnet?
Yes.
Isn't Jessie lovely? Isn't she like
I haven't
so,
felt that starstruck by an actor in a really long time, and I don't know why we aren't friends.
I know, don't you? Aren't there some people
love-
though, and you're just like, wow, and she's so real.
I can't see any lies, and it's really amazing. And there's the part of me that's deathly envious, and most of me that is just like absolutely in awe. I love.
So when you see somebody like Jessie Buckley in Hamnet, and you know that her philosophy aligns with what you're doing, which is, what if I show up as me and I
Yeah.
really inhabit my body, brain, heart and soul?
Yes.
And that's enough, whether or not somebody gives me a gold star for it or not. But that I get the joy, the pleasure, the experience of my life. And then you see her break through into something and remain with integrity and authenticity herself.
Yeah.
Isn't it super encouraging?
Oh, it's so lovely. I know. I feel like I've done a bit of reading on attachment styles and things like that, and I feel like I can see now a spectrum of full embodied authenticity and full detachment, both of which are really quite intoxicating for humans. Full detachment, like the archetype of like the cool kid who doesn't care about anything, There's something really magnetic about that. But it's detached. And then across the spectrum, there is embodied authenticity, which is also incredibly magnetic, and in a way can project themselves in a similar way of like, well, I don't care what you think because I'm in my body and I'm authentically me and I'm okay with that. And there's also the other end of that. And she is so fabulous because I feel like she's down the authentic end so beautifully.
And again, I love all this thinking you're doing, because I remember looking at the cool kids at school, knowing I wasn't one of them, and being like, I just could never maintain that detachment. Like I could never, I would just find something too funny, or I would stub my toe. I would be so human, and I couldn't care less. I wasn't able to care less.
Yes.
I wasn't able to care less. And now I can care less in a really, I can care less. I can care less about what other people are thinking. I'm not impervious to
no, that's
meanness
right.
or
There's
whatever.
a price you pay for feeling, for sure.
But I'm like, I just don't think I can maintain that. So it was a lovely kind of okay, I'll never be the popular kid. That's okay, because I just don't think I could do it. And I think I advised my children not to be popular, and I had to say to my daughter, look, if you want to go try it, you go. It's actually not for me to decide for you. You do what you need to do and see where you land.
Well, and then you can be the popular kid. I mean, you're a popular kid. You got own a really successful podcast, and you've been in media and stuff, and you've done it via authenticity and embodiment, and that's a slow release dopamine.
Yeah. Oh, look at you! Stop already.
So it's really. Maybe it doesn't feel like being the popular kid at times because it doesn't have that same archetypal dismissive-ness of everything.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes I wish I could be more mysterious.
I wish I could be.
I'm like, totally like,
people go, I love you. They meet you and they go, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, you know more about me than I know about myself. Like, I love this. And at the same time, I'm like,
I know. They see my film and then I was like, well, you know me really well. You've seen everything literally.
But you kept it on that small screen. It's perfect. It's exposing and mysterious enough. I'm so glad that you're going to do a cinematic release. And I do hope it finds its way to a streaming platform.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. Yeah, let us.
That's what it's called.
Speak that into being.
Just say it
because it's a good and glorious story, and it's a good and glorious sharing of who you are. And I love that you did it, and I laughed.
Good.
So I hope other humans get to see and hear and experience it as well. Go you.
Thank you, Petra. It's been such a nice chat.
The last question that I ask everybody.
Yes.
And I apologise in advance to the person editing this who has to take out some time, is if you imagine yourself as an 80-year-old, what does your glorious, gorgeous 80-year-old say to you today? Like she calls you up and she says, Morgana.
Oh, yeah. I wear gowns a lot. And I'm great. You'll get there. Keep trying. No, but we're here to have a good time. We're here to have a good time. Remember that most things turn out just fine. Mm-hmm. So chill on the worry front. And keep thinking grandly. For fuck's sake. And you're so young. You're so young. So shut up.
You're so young.
I'm so young.
You're so young. It's so great seeing Robin Malcolm do her thing at 61. It's so great.
Yeah.
And she's young enough to be taking on new projects.
Well, she's finally an adult.
I
think of you.
Yeah. So good. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Greasies. Good chat.
So good. Ngā mihi nui ki a koe, Morgana. What a joy. I love your sparkle married with your deeply reflective and insightful self. Can I say, please go and see Stories About My Body in cinema if you can. I've seen it twice and I laughed and cried both times. It is so ducking good. Otherwise, keep your eyes open for Stories About My Body landing in a streaming platform near you. It is a wild ride. You can find Morgana on Instagram at Morgana O'Reilly. Thanks to our production team here at Love It Media, Josh Couch, Maxine London, McAndrews, and our video guru, Hamish Wilson. So handsome. Please, if you want to support this podcast, go to our website, greyareas.nz, and make a donation. Thanks to those of you who already have. It's much appreciated. Our music is by Aro. This song is Korimako. Until next time, go gently with yourself and all of your body. Big thanks to Junora for sponsoring this episode. Science-backed skincare and supplements designed by women who needed it first. Made right here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. Have a look. Head to junora.co.nz and use the code GREY AREAS for 15% off your first order.